What is up, DramaAlert Nation? I'm your host, Killer
Bully Star. Let's get right into bullying some children.
Keemstar, and I quit.
So, Keemstar announced his retirement. Finally, after 14 years on YouTube, Keemstar has said he is no longer going to be hosting DramaAlert. The main point of today's video is really to kind of discuss his opinions on the whole community of YouTube and how it has changed over the time that he has been on the platform. And I wanted to pick up on a few points because I think, even though I have not supported Keemstar in the past, and I don't think a lot of people have anyway, but the points that he makes about YouTube really do hit home. And for once, he's actually talking some sense, believe it or not.
Quite frankly, I'm not having fun anymore. Shift in the culture where cancel culture became like this overpowering thing. And people went after YouTubers, sponsors, like really trying to just ruin them financially. And that caused everyone to stop speaking their mind, right? That caused everyone to be a walking, talking commercial, all right?
The points that he makes about YouTubers and just the general viewers attacking content creators' sponsors, he is not wrong on. This has been an issue that has been happening for a long time. Many examples of this was KSI or even certain new TikTok stars that have come out recently onto the platform. A lot of viewers, or the cancellers if you want to call them, have attacked their sponsors and brand deals, i.e. hurting them financially, which, to be honest, that's a whole different discussion for a different day. But he's spot on when he says this, that it has been a major problem now that content creators are now scared to give their actual opinions in fear that they, the green goblins of Tumblr will come down on them and essentially ruin them financially and also their career.
You got guys like Bryce Hall, who I guess is edgy. He doesn't really seem that edgy to me. But then you have Noah Beck coming out saying, I don't want to make videos with Bryce Hall because I feel like it might hurt our brand deals. That's what we're dealing with.
And that is also another problem in the shift of the YouTube community. Content creators actually being scared to associate themselves with other YouTubers because they're over what they say, because their brand deals will be pulled and they won't be able to keep making the content or keep living as they were, so to say. This, again, has been such an issue on YouTube for a very long time that now the sort of meta is now to sort of be squeaky clean and not speak your mind is what I have a massive issue with. And I weirdly say it, I agree with Keemstar on this. He has a factual point. This has been going on for a very long time.
So who is Noah Beck? Well, you don't know. This guy's a robot. What does Noah Beck think about anything? You don't know. Like, the guy's a robot. He's a walking, talking commercial. He's not a real person. He's fake, because brands. He's got to protect those brand deals. But this isn't to single out Noah Beck. This is everywhere, right? This is all YouTubers. This is all influencers. Well, most of them. So what happens is when nobody speaks their mind and everyone's a commercial, there's not really that much entertainment,
The fact that he's saying that there's no more entertainment, so to say, so there's no more content creators going after one another, so they can't report on it, is very bad for DramaAlert as a whole, considering that's what their channel's foundation was built on. As he said, everyone now is just a walking, talking robot. So to say that no one will speak out against each other because of the brand deal problem and the cancellation problems, that means they have no content to make, which is what it is. Like, you can't force people to have a rivalry. Most viewers can spot fake rivalries from a mile away. It's very obvious to tell when two YouTubers don't like each other because for view game or monetization. You can look at the Sidemen diss tracks, how that went down. There was a bit of beef between them. However, it was all pretty much premeditated to gain views and gain popularity. Was it a good time on YouTube? Oh yeah, it was entertaining as fuck. Who can say they didn't enjoy the diss tracks from that? However, I think the overall point he was trying to make is that YouTubers are not free to express themselves openly anymore. It's very... I don't say it's very caged in what they can and can't say. And if you are very outspoken in a certain way that people don't agree with, people will attack you over this. And I think that's ridiculous.
In entertainment, you need drama. Think of the Avengers without drama. Think of the Avengers without a bad guy, right? You need some back and forth. You need some battles. You need conflict, right? That's a core part of entertainment. Not all entertainment, but in general, entertainment. And that just doesn't happen anymore with the cancel culture stuff, with the ripping sponsors away and attacking a YouTuber sponsor. It used to be this huge no-no. If you did that, like, you were the one that got canceled. Now it's acceptable. Now it's like normal thing. Like, if someone gets in trouble, let's email the sponsor. Like, that's a normal thing. I don't know how that happened.
Right. I think I want to say, I don't necessarily want drama between YouTubers all the time. I don't think... But think about before, right? YouTubers used to purposely have beef with each other for views. Some of it, as I mentioned in my previous point, some YouTubers did it for the clout. So I hate using that word, but that's what it was. It was for clout, it was for monetary gain and all that sort of thing. However, these days, he is right. There's no back and forth. There's no villain. There's nothing anymore in the entertainment business. Like, I'm not one to advocate drama. Like, I don't think drama has necessarily a place on YouTube. However, when people used to call each other out, this is what used to make diverse opinions. It used to make you think different about stuff, and that's how the content, the commentary like community died. People like, I can't say his name, the one beginning with L, and how Pyro built his channel as well. Like, you don't see that anymore. And even content creators that still trying to make this content are struggling very hard. He does bring this up later, which I will talk more on.
Back in the day, when we talked about the community, felt like we knew everyone. Like it was an actual community. The community doesn't exist anymore. It's like so big and so spread. I think back of stories. What was the name of those guys? These guys, I'll find it in editing. Remember, they got canceled for something everybody talked about. Everybody. Now a story will happen and only that group of fans or care about that story. We're not knit together like we used to be. And part of the problem is we don't have a flourishing commentary community, right? We used to have a commentary community where everybody was talking about the same thing, and that commentary community has disappeared, and they're all making long form like documentaries because the longer videos, the more watch time, the more they'll get promoted in the algorithm and blah, 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 blah.
When he talks about the community not being a thing anymore, I can agree with that. There isn't a sense of community of YouTubers together anymore. And I think part of the reason is that he didn't bring up, which I think in my mind is a really good point. YouTube has expanded so much it's so big now compared to what he was used to when he was getting his peak of his like fame, let's call it. These days, there's so many channels on so many different topics and issues or content that everybody is now a very small fish in a very, very big pond. And I think it's very hard to get that sense of community back again because it's expanded. That's just what happens when platforms expand. It's harder to grow your channel. It's harder to gain an audience. But even when you do gain an audience, it's a very niche audience now. Before, YouTube was for people of a very specific taste, and that was YouTube had its own collective community together. Everybody tend to watch the same things half the time. Now that YouTube recommended is now a thing, you can get recommended things from channels that you don't even watch, but you end up watching at 3 a.m. anyway, and then the next day you get recommended a bunch more stuff, which is just what happens with it. And I think what I feel he's feeling is that it will never go back to that sense of community. And it's kind of sad, but however, that's just how things progress.
So you're left with the T channels, and the T channels have no credibility, caught lying and bullying and harassing YouTubers nonstop, but there's so many of them that they kind of control the narrative. It's just a mess. It's a giant mess, all right? It's just a giant mess of not fun.
The point he's bringing with this is the whole drama between James Charles, Tati Westbrook, what was the other person's name? Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. And I think the point he's making with this is that a lot of drama these days are now kind of pre-planned. I mentioned this earlier again, but that whole drama was exposed as they basically all had a fit. It was over nothing. They all bullied each other, and then they decided to hold a narrative to go against one person, and now all of a sudden everyone's forgotten that. Like, that never happened, which is ridiculous in my point. I have a whole issue on that topic. That's a whole other thing for a different day, which was ridiculous. But that's what he's trying to say, is that it's all got a narrative. It's all got... that there's no opinion, there's no drama of it anymore. It's just people sometimes will just gang up on one person just to seem like the narrative fits them, so to say. Whereas before it was back and forth and there was two different opinions. Now it seems to be like one opinion is the narrative and the other one is just forgotten, just because of how shit has gone. This is how it is now. That's how YouTube drama works.
I think back of the time where there were diss tracks, right? And people were making diss tracks back and forth. That was fun. We don't have that anymore. You know, if I go back and I look at, we have DramaAlert DM where you guys can tip us off on news, and we look through that, and it's like, you're trying to Me Too every single YouTuber for something, right? And a lot of them are guilty, need to be called out. Don't get me wrong. But like, that's the only thing anyone cares about anymore. It's like, where is the fun? You know, there's not much fun left in the community from the perspective of drama. It's always something to pull on the emotions of the audience, of the viewers, get them emotionally angry, so they form a mob and then use them to attack someone. Like, that's what I see these other YouTubers doing nonstop.
The point he brings up about mob mentality is very true. A lot of the times, that's what exactly he explained will happen. YouTubers or content creators will pull on the heartstrings and use a social standpoint to gain a mob following and basically attack another content creator. And sometimes, obviously, you can't blame YouTubers for what other people say. However, I feel like a lot of the time, content creators have that power, but also have a responsibility to use it in a correct way. Whereas mob mentality takes over and people get sent horrific messages. And again, with the whole attacking sponsors, messaging them, this just doesn't apply to YouTube anymore. This applies to daily life. People have lost jobs. People have lost livelihoods over a mistake that they made. The whole point of YouTubers learning from their mistakes is to grow as people. I can honestly say, anyone that's watching this, are you the same person you were when you were 9 years old? If you're over 20, are you the same person you were when you were 14 and 15? I guarantee you are not. You are different. You have grown. The point that he makes when he says it's not fun anymore, this can be taken in a number of ways. You can say it's not fun for him because he can't make content on certain beef, so to say. Or you could say that it's not fun because it's taken too seriously now. It's taken too politically. It's gone a bit mental. Whereas before, people would make diss tracks and songs about each other where it wasn't really to hurt one another. It was just to really annoy and kind of prod a little bit. But now it's taken really seriously, where again the sponsors are cancelled. They lose subscribers, they lose their financial situation because of it, and then they have to worry about that. And it can be very mentally destroying for people. Do I believe certain people need to be called out on some stuff that they've done? 100%. I can literally say this person needed to be called out. However, certain people where the issues were a bit grey, again, it's gone crazy. It's mental now.
And it's sad. It's pathetic. It's not fun. Another thing, because I've been a YouTuber for such a long time, is, back in the day, all right, I had a fan base that subscribed to my channel, and they would go to their sub box and be like, oh, a DramaAlert video, and go watch it, right? But then YouTube changed some things, right? They said, well, you got to turn the bell on, right? You got to turn this notification bell on if you want notifications for that channel. Oh, okay. All right. So we started telling people to turn the notifications on. Then they added another layer. Well, if you want all notifications, you got to select the all button. Okay, YouTube. All right. All right. So that was their third, stage or whatever of trying to separate the creator from their fan base, right? Make the fans go through so you got to sub, you got to turn on the bell, and you got to select always, right?
I still don't know why to this day YouTube had this random algorithm put into their site. It never really made sense to me. However, it had to evolve in some way. It couldn't stay the way it always had. People were getting bored of it. However, when they did first roll out this notification bell feature, a lot of the times it was broken. And he is spot on when he says that a lot of the time, you don't see people's videos anymore. And he does bring up the fact that a lot of the time, even YouTube channels I watch and enjoy, I don't get notified of them all the time. Some channels I have to manually type in to find. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I don't think it's the biggest issue to do with YouTube at this current point. However, it is a bit of a nuisance when I have to type in something like Swagger Souls because he hasn't come up in my recommended for ages. Or, in a way, it's kind of a good thing because sometimes you don't get recommended a video for a while and then you have lots of content of theirs to watch to catch up on. But a lot of the time, even for an example, I had the bell notification on for 2Mad. But half the time, I don't even get a notification sent to my phone or to my bell icon on the desktop app that he's uploaded. I've missed a bunch of uploads from him, which, isn't annoying to me, but I can imagine for some people it is.
I think the recommended thing is awesome, right? I use it all the time. The problem is, all right, the people I sub to, the people that I made a decision, a conscious decision in my head. I want to watch this person. I don't see their videos anymore because YouTube is sending me the videos. You recommend it. Look at all these thumbnails. Look at all this other stuff that you're interested in. And that causes me to be distracted and click on a video that I wouldn't have normally watched because YouTube is feeding me. So the viewers have lost control on who they watch and who they sub to. And YouTube has full control of what you viewers are watching. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you guys had to manually go type in DramaAlert to watch a video? I wonder if Keemstar uploaded like DramaAlert, so it's a lot. All right. My channel doesn't really get thrown into recommended, doesn't get recommended to people. There's a lot, all right, that is on my plate that I'm just battling with.
One thing I will say about this is that a lot of the time I end up having to clear my watch history a lot of the time. No, not for that reason. But, however, for the reason, the fact that a lot of the time on YouTube, I get recommended videos that I've already watched. And I'm talking videos I watched 6 months ago, or even a week ago, a day ago sometimes at best. Like, I watched a TGF video, I think it was last Sunday they uploaded, and literally I watched the entire video, hit the like button, I think I may have left a comment on the video, and then I dipped. I was like, enjoy the content, and that was it, it was gone. The next few days, I get recommended the same video at the top of my page. Why would I want to watch a video the second time when I literally just watched it a few days ago? Or even a day ago? That makes no sense. And a lot of the time, a lot of people don't know, if you go into your settings and you clear your watch history, YouTube will recommend a bunch of new videos that you may or may not have seen before. Before, I was using the feature where you click the little 3 dots and it says, remove this video or whatever, and then you select a reason and it'll be like, I've already watched this. But then I get recommended another video that I've already watched, and the cycle continues, and that's really, really frustrating for me as a YouTube watcher. Like, I don't understand. There has to be a better way to solve this.
Over the last, I would say 2 years, I've been actively looking for my replacement because I just need to do other things. I got other things going on. You know, I'm involved in the boxing world. I want to get into documentary stuff. I want to leave the house. All right. You know, when you work at DramaAlert, you're kind of stuck here, right? Some crazy thing goes on. I got to make a video, right? I don't get to plan videos. I don't get to schedule stuff. No, I'm on call 24/7. There's no off time. If something goes down, I got to rush here and make a video to let you guys know about it, to keep you in the loop. And you know, after doing this for such a long time, you know, it's like, okay, I want to leave the house. I want to go on vacation. I want to travel. You know, I want to spend more time with my family and stuff like that. So it's a lot of different things. Why am I retiring is a lot of different things.
I can imagine from his point of view that being on call 24/7, as he claims he is, can be very exhausting as a content creator. And for someone like me who does Twitch streaming and, you know, voiceovers on Fiverr and, you know, having to upload a TikTok and Instagram and YouTube like all the time, it can be very exhausting thing to do. It's not, when people say that doing this kind of stuff is easy, it's very far from the truth. And this isn't me going, oh, woe was the creators, because we choose to do this because we love doing it. However, when you're doing something repeatedly a lot of the time, like he was on DramaAlert, it can be exhausting. And I can kind of understand why now he's chosen to say March will be his last appearance on the DramaAlert channel. Obviously, he's not retiring from YouTube. You know, he's turning 40. He's going to do documentaries. Like, he already made the FouseyTube one, and he has Mum's Basement and stuff like that. As I say, like, fair play to him. I hope he does well. I just kind of wanted to use this video as sort of a way to talk about other points that he highlighted, which I think a lot of creators are struggling with. You know, not necessarily about him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have a certain opinion on Keemstar, like I said probably at the start of the video, that I've never really supported a lot of what he did, because there has been a lot of fuck-ups he has done, and a lot of stuff that he has purposely done to other creators. However, I'm kind of glad he highlighted a lot of issues that a lot of YouTubers don't talk about, because they're scared to sort of highlight some issues with the platform in case the algorithm doesn't recommend them anymore. Because when he says that YouTube do control what you watch, he is not far from the truth. He is pretty much spot on with what he says. Is it a bad thing half the time? Maybe not, but definitely YouTube has a lot of control on who gets seen a lot and who doesn't. So that's all I really want to talk about today. I know this was a different video than everyone's used to, but I wanted to try something different for once, and maybe we'll make a few more of these on other topics that come up. But anyway, boys, links are all down below. I do stream on Twitch quite a lot, actually. This is like that I can't even speak anymore. It's late at night, boys. But yeah, man. But yeah, I stream on Twitch. Go check it out. I stream every week, mainly 3 to 4 times a week. We also have a podcast now called the Degenerates Podcast, so please, if you do, go check that out. And yeah, if you want to, I know it sounds kind of weird, but do hit the bell icon, because there's going to be a lot more content coming here. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say, boys. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye.